WrestleMania.
I know this doesn't do much for the event, but I'm sure anyone who attended WrestleMania 39 can attest to this. The weather was super cold in Hollywood, much more than MetLife Stadium in 2019, and then conveniently went back to being warm the following weekend. WWE should have picked April 8th to 9th to host because the weather was just trolling us. Also, I wanted to point out on another thing while I got this awesome view of the stadium. You see that state-of-the-art LED screen up there? Well, several times throughout both nights, the screens kept malfunctioning, and that's why the crowd was randomly booing at times. SoFi Stadium, the most expensive stadium on the planet, couldn't even get their shit straight. Man, that stage setup for WrestleMania 39 is one of the best we've seen in recent years. I love the idea of the Oscar-like steps and the old-school theater. Nice way to show that we are indeed in Hollywood. Fingers crossed for an epic stage setup during next year's WrestleMania 40.
There's only one person.
Apparently, Kevin Hart is the only man qualified to open up WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. I'm not saying he's a bad choice, but the only choice? I could think of many more people qualified to open up a WrestleMania in Hollywood, if you smell what I'm cooking. Also, we got Mark Wahlberg opening up WrestleMania last year, and now we got Kevin Hart opening up this year. Who are they going to get to introduce next year's Mania? Donald Trump, live from prison? Take a joke, calm your asses down.
Smaller than average frame.
You gonna do me like that?
After all these years, Kevin Hart is still offended whenever someone makes a joke about his height. One would think he'd be used to it by now.
Once upon a time in Hollywood.
Surprised Kevin Hart didn't end up playing Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie after making that reference. We'd definitely be here all night long.
This is the story of when the greatest show took over Tinseltown.
Nice, we're about to watch WrestleMania 21 in its entirety since WrestleMania 39 taking over technically isn't a story since that is yet to be told. Oh, wait.
Everybody's going Hollywood.
Except for those who are competing tomorrow night. They're definitely not going Hollywood tonight since it's Saturday. One thing I gotta remove a sin for is WWE bringing back the Hollywood parody trailers just like from 2005. From Top Gun to Titanic to Goodfellas to Joker. Man, those movie trailers were so much fun to watch.
What's the pyro budget on this thing?
Judging by the fact that there is no opening pyrotechnics for either night, mostly non-pyro, and no outdoor fireworks for later on in the show, I'd say the budget for pyro during WrestleMania is the lowest that it's ever been at, and that fucking sucks. Also, what was the point of Kevin Hart cracking a joke about the pyrotechnics if they were not going to deliver any sort of pyro literally seconds later? That was terrible tease with no payoff. Wait a minute, I knew that The Miz was the confirmed host of WrestleMania 39, but when was it announced that Snoop Dogg was gonna be here? I'm not saying I'm unhappy to see him, but this does feel a little random if you ask me.
WrestleMania the musical.
WrestleMania the what? Oh, right, that musical thing that was totally a major deal heading into the show with a lot of hype and build-up. Yeah, I totally remember that thing. I just love how Snoop Dogg is constantly giving The Miz an "Are you serious, bro?" look with everything Miz tries to compare himself to, starting off the weekend with some hilarious comedy.
Usos will defend against Kevin Owens.
Whoops, looks like Sami Zayn is shit out of luck for his match since The Miz basically confirmed the WWE Tag Team Championship match just got turned into a 2-on-1 handicap match. Oh well, just kidding.
Fire it up!
Snoop Dogg basically called for the pyrotechnics to launch, but we're still not getting it. And I'm just putting this out there, it's a lot dimmer at this WrestleMania than the one in Santa Clara in 2015, which had pyro throughout the whole show, and not to mention started an hour earlier than this one. The door slowly rising to reveal Austin Theory behind it would have been a lot cooler if the camera didn't suddenly switch to the inside, because it ain't much of a reveal when you're showing his face. Seriously? Now we're adding Austin Theory's name to the list of wrestlers who have non-pyro? Jesus, by WrestleMania 40, I guarantee literally everybody's going to have non-pyro. Either launch the fireworks or don't make the noise. It doesn't have the same feel or impact. I blame Ryback for all of this. Badass as the stage is, this was a missed opportunity for the WrestleMania 33 style ramp to the ring to be a red carpet to further add into the Hollywood theme. This crew member in the back running across the stage was probably being chased by the haunted ghost of SoFi Stadium. Man, I hated being chased by that thing earlier in the day. After all these years of destruction, I'm actually surprised that the Spanish announce table isn't made of Beskar built by the Mandalorians.
Battling the man he grew up idolizing.
This does remind me, what exactly was Austin Theory's problem with John Cena heading into tonight's United States Championship match? Sure, he's a bad guy wanting to make a name for himself, but the build-up to this match wasn't that good at all and felt way too random. And when John Cena is making only sporadic appearances, the storylines he's part of must count for everything. I just can't help but smile at John Cena bringing in kids from the Make-A-Wish Foundation to the stage for his entrance at WrestleMania. Even when he doesn't appear always, John never fails to put smiles on kids' faces, and that's truly inspiring. One of the most memed things on the internet these days is John Cena's bald spot on the back of his head. I'm already questioning why he doesn't just go back to his traditional hairstyle that he's always used, but the bald spot should really back that request up.
What do you need to do?
Simple, hit John Cena one time and cause him to take his 15-minute beatdown, while also hoping that the cliched Superman comeback doesn't take place like it usually does.
You don't want to meet your heroes because your heroes will disappoint you.
Well, considering John Cena has such a lackluster performance at WrestleMania today, Michael Cole is right. Also, John Cena told Austin Theory that he's not ready for a moment like this when the reality of the situation was John himself is the one who wasn't ready for this, and that is a major shame if you ask me. Fighting. Majority of this 11-minute match is Austin Theory monologuing, taunting, and beating down John Cena before he inevitably defeats him. It's a shame that this match was a letdown. Should have been Austin defeating John at his best, but John was nowhere near his best tonight.
Theory again measuring himself, and this
Austin Theory successfully hits a drop kick after rolling into the ring and figures it will work a second time. Anyone who is anyone already knows that he's going to fail even before he gets into position.
is Cena closing in on a championship.
Considering he doesn't even have the STF properly locked in and Austin Theory can easily move his head around in there, I doubt that John Cena is closing in on the United States Championship. Plus, you asked the question, so obviously he's not.
He understands the match.
Copy, site infringement.
It was 20 years ago. John Cena stood up to Kurt Angle.
That was actually 21 years ago when John Cena debuted and stood up to Kurt Angle, but go ahead, Michael. Oh, come on, will you please just finish him off already? All the stalling is really starting to piss me off here. Conversations during matches, as you could clearly hear John Cena shout sleeper. I'm predicting the sleeper hold is about to be put in.
Doing whatever he can.
Sure, that's a referee gets knocked over at the crucial point of the match cliche, but he was hardly even poked with Austin's foot. I find it hard to believe the referees are that sensitive.
Theory gonna tap. Theory's tapping out.
Wrestler taps out when the referee is unconscious, thus the match continues cliche. There's another one for you.
Had Theory tap.
Austin Theory is addicted John Cena's.
He did it.
Right decision was made to have Austin Theory win the match. However, you gotta agree, this would have been way better if he shocked the world and defeated John Cena clean like Kevin Owens in 2015. Then we absolutely can take Austin seriously. But alas, that didn't happen, so this gets a sin. You mean to tell me that WrestleMania is currently in progress, yet there are still many fans hanging out outside SoFi Stadium? I won't lie, it's a beautiful place to be, but you paid a lot of money. What are you doing out there for? Just saying. Titus O'Neil is already slipping today. He said what's up to Michael Cole and Corey Graves, but looked at the wrong ones each time. Michael is Corey for the night, and Corey is Michael for the night.
WrestleMania Showcase!
I just want to say something about these WrestleMania Showcase matches taking place on both nights. This upcoming match is fun, but the reasoning for its existence is confusing. There's literally no point in having random Fatal 4-Way tag matches on the biggest stage unless the winners get some sort of title opportunity in the process. Randomness should not exist at WrestleMania, but yet it does. Also, why did the women have to qualify for their showcase match while these 4 teams were just randomly selected? The men's tag team division has over 12 teams, while the women's tag team division is practically non-existent. See why that doesn't make any sense? Braun Strowman and Ricochet's non-pyro. I find it weird that WWE has pyro machines set up on the stairs throughout both nights yet hardly ignites them. I know the yelling shoosh is Chad Gable's thing, but I don't think it's going to work here since he's so tiny and far away from anyone that can clearly see him.
The game. Otis, maybe.
Because Alpha Academy is not even halfway down the long ramp to the ring, now they gotta make their WrestleMania entrance to the Street Profits music. That's gotta be awkward.
Walks out of here with the victory tonight.
I say Street Profits.
Because I read the match results before I walked out here to do commentary with y'all, so I know I'm right. You know what doesn't make any sense? Earlier this morning during NXT Stand and Deliver, we had a triple threat tag team match that had a member of each team participate. Now we have a fatal 4-way tag team match with 2 entire teams waiting on the apron. It's annoying enough when they do that, but they did a multi-team match the right way earlier in the same day.
Avoiding being tagged by one of the Viking Raiders.
Early on in this showcase match, Chad Gable and Ricochet are already, well, showcasing their amazing talent. Even if the match's existence doesn't make sense, at least we're rewarded with something fun to watch. Hope we can say the same about the women tomorrow. WWE realized that last year I went ballistic over the crazy amount of WrestleMania logos shown throughout the night, so they figure adding in sponsorships like TurboTax is going to make me less annoyed. Guess what? I'm more annoyed than ever before. Also, I get that you have sponsors for some of your matches, but do you have to shove it in our faces on the LED barricades? Was it too much to simply cover the ring canvas with a sponsorship logos like any other wrestling or fighting company would?
Oh, the big man in.
Well, technically not all the big men are in the ring right now because Eric is still on the ring apron. Also, if there are no disqualifications and the wrestlers are allowed to do this, what is the point of tagging in anymore? We can brawl all day and the referee can't do anything about it. The Viking Raiders, specifically Ivar, continue to impress me with the athleticism they have for wrestlers of their size. Loving this. Chad Gable shined brightly in this WrestleMania Showcase match. I had to replay that moment several times because I was in disbelief at the perfect show of strength used to hit that German suplex on freaking Braun Strowman. I love this match.
I know we're in Hollywood, but there was no CGI.
And for WrestleMania, the lack of CGI in Hollywood of all appropriate places is the biggest shocker of the night. There are some CGI models every now and then, but they really cut down on it throughout, and I thank WWE for doing that.
Smart move by Dawkins, tagged himself in.
Wait. Oh, goodness. Oh.
This match is so fucking amazing. Chad Gable's headbutt, Angelo Dawkins' swanton bomb, Ivar's moonsault, and Braun Strowman's frog splash. What a spectacle.
Ricochet.
How many center movers is this match going to get? Holy shit!
Trying to get out of harm's.
This match is the perfect example of why fans should stop sleeping on Angelo Dawkins. I get that they want Montez Ford to be a major star from the Street Profits, but Angelo deserves that spot as well, if not more. Never seen the Strowman Express counter like that before. This match is full of awesome WrestleMania moments. Titus O'Neil's commentary is also fun and exciting, getting pumped up just by watching and listening. Good move on WWE's part to bring him in on commentary for this match. The way the Street Profits won this epic match was brutal. Angelo caught Ricochet with his knees and kept him there so that Montez Ford could sandwich him with a frog splash from the heavens. Let's remove 10 sins right now. Xavier Woods is fun and entertaining, but these segments with him playing WWE 2K23 to promote upcoming matches doesn't really add to anything because anything can happen, and a video game doesn't change it.
One of the top social media influencers.
And it's not exactly a good reason. Much as I'm a huge fan of Logan Paul, he's not exactly famous for positive reasons here.
Because you're a coward.
I know that Logan Paul is a lot of things, but a coward is not one of them because he actually owns up and faces off against any opponent without running away. Matter of fact, Logan is the one who stepped up to Seth Rollins after the latter dissed the crap out of him, so how is he a coward? Much as this is a discount Shawn Michaels entrance from WrestleMania 12, one can understand why Logan Paul's zipline entrance is a very controversial and stomach-churning thing to think about. I would remove a sin for how awesome it looks, but it still just feels wrong to see this sort of entrance after 1999. Just shoot the actual pyro in the air! It's good enough that we would be able to see it on the stage. Just activating the noise is super annoying and adds nothing. Just by seeing this Prime Drink mascot costume and knowing who Logan Paul works with, you just know who's underneath it. The only time I thought it was just a random extra was during the entrance, but then the mascot stayed for the match. I don't even have to listen to the audience singing with the conductor to know that this is going to be an awesome entrance for Seth Rollins, so I'm taking off 5 sins right now for this amazing idea. Seth's costume is cool, but what's with the pink straps? They weren't exactly holding his coat together or anything. Plus, I think they look badass during the match. That's my only critique on this outfit. The rest is perfect.
So much drip to LA, I think the Pacific Ocean just got a few inches.
Wah, wah.
We have to thank Kevin Hart.
Michael Cole realized that now we're into WrestleMania that he forgot to give a shout out and thanks to Kevin Hart on the WrestleMania intro. Whoopsie!
Over 75,000.
Seth Rollins knows what Logan Paul is capable of, and the first thing he does is turn his back on his opponent. Just saying, this dude shook up Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. I'd take him seriously.
But he's in it for personal gain.
And that's supposed to be a problem? I'm just saying, what's the bad thing in joining WWE for personal gain when practically everybody does that? The place makes you a bigger star, so who wouldn't join the WWE for that? Plus, Logan can wrestle and doesn't suck in the ring. So again, why is that supposed to be a problem here? Seth Rollins, why do I keep falling for this guy's tricks and why haven't I taken him seriously, face?
At WrestleMania.
Copy sing infringement.
A smart move by a boxing veteran.
I won't go that far. Logan has only faced the dude in the Prime costume twice, the first of which was an amateur boxing match, and an exhibition with Floyd Mayweather. I wouldn't call Logan a boxing veteran here.
Rope break. Rollins.
Who would have thought Logan Paul's weakness was nipple carnage? Seth Rollins going to town on that nipple.
Guy survived a boxing match with Floyd Mayweather.
To be fair, that boxing match with Floyd Mayweather looked more scripted than a bad CGI action film.
Look to the top rope.
You gotta admit that Logan Paul makes everything in WWE look easy. Like him or hate him, you're in complete denial if you say Logan can't get the job done in the ring.
Got out of harm's way.
As I mentioned already, one would think the audience is cheering because Seth Rollins is getting back up and regaining the offense in the match. But the reality is that the audience is actually cheering because SoFi Stadium fixed the LED screens on the ceiling so that the crowd in the nosebleed sections can actually see what's going on. And again, I send SoFi for being the most state-of-the-art stadium with so many glitches at the same time.
And again.
Seth hit those 3 suicide dives with such accuracy that he caused the screens above the ring to break again. True story.
Of Seth freaking.
I don't know if I should send Seth being an asshole for leaving this fan hanging, or send the fan being an asshole for thinking that Seth will give him a gentlemanly handshake in the midst of beating up Logan.
Rollins
Seth was quick to make sure he had Logan exactly where he wanted him, but the moment he has the chance to hit a pedigree on the Maverick, Seth takes all the time in the world just so Logan can counter. Just hit it already.
Oh, that's it! Rollins is down!
Well, it's a good thing that Seth Rollins wasn't the one who trained Logan Paul prior to any of his matches, otherwise Logan would have pretended his hand wasn't injured anymore. That one moment when Logan Paul sells injuries more than half the damn roster in any wrestling company. Was gonna remove a sin for that, but now I'm pissed off at the actual rosters for not doing better, so I'll sin it.
Wait a minute.
For reasons unknown, the referee didn't think to call for the disqualification or eject the Prime mascot for getting physically involved in the match. I can't be the only one who actually thought at first glance that R-Truth was the one hiding underneath the Prime mask and was about to have another my bad moment, right? However, I gotta take off 3 sins for the awesome way to bring in KSI. I had a feeling from the start that it was him underneath that mask, and it was so great to see him. Well, KSI wanted to have a memorable viral moment at WrestleMania, and he got it in the form of getting the frog splash through the announce table. That was so fucking hilarious to see. I gotta remove 10 sins for that.
Bye-bye, KSI!
Bye-bye, KSI.
For his partner in crime!
Okay, first Michael Cole ruined the moment by saying bye-bye KSI, and now Corey Graves is making horrible puns by saying partner in prime. Ha 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 ha! Fuck you all. Well, if the WWE deal doesn't end up working out, Logan Paul must be exploring his options on future opponents in other companies. Picture perfect super kick leading to Seth getting the win. Magnificent performance from both men during WrestleMania. You absolutely love to see it. Minor sin I have for this upcoming 6-woman tag team match. It's always cool to see Lita and Trish Stratus competing, but what was the honest point of having Lita and Becky Lynch win the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship from Damage Control? Practically the most unnecessary thing to happen in this feud, next to the tag team titles actually existing. Also, so much for Trish Stratus' retirement back in 2019 that they made an entire WWE 24 documentary feature about, am I right? Retirement doesn't seem to exist anymore. Might as well cancel that word entirely.
Damage Control as a trio have wreaked havoc
for like the first 2 months of their existence, and then they all got their asses single-handedly kicked by Bianca Belair and never recovered since. I'm sensing a pattern here. Last year, Becky Lynch had a discount Marvel Cinematic Universe intro for her entrance, and now she has a literal comic book design for this year. Plus, she played the Beckman while Seth Rollins played the Joker. What do you bet she wanted to do a Shazam entrance but got told off by The Rock, just like DC did at the idea of Black Adam fighting Shazam? I'm just saying, this comic strip saying that Becky Lynch was inspired by Trish Stratus and Lita completely destroys Trish's reasoning for turning on her mere weeks later, since Trish complained about having no credit for anything. Discount the NWO.
And sending.
After a short brawl, Becky Lynch conveniently throws Dakota Kai into the ring to start the match, likely because she is the least accomplished and most vulnerable at Damage Control. Reminds me a lot of when Cody Rhodes used to be that guy in the Legacy. Worked out for him though.
And now mocking.
Dakota Kai wasting time taunting Becky Lynch about tagging in her partners, not realizing that Becky could actually escape her grasp and tag in her partners.
Plenty of strategy for this.
Hardy, right? Infringement. Yeah, I get that neither Matt nor Jeff Hardy are present in WWE anymore, but it still counts as Lita was part of the crew for a while. Good times.
Oh!
Even if Trish Stratus was not knocked off the apron by Bayley, Becky Lynch was going to fail at tagging her in anyway. Boy, that was awkward.
Take it out, Damage Control!
Lita gets the hot tag and takes control of the match, yet the 80,000 fans in attendance could care less about it. What a bunch of dicks. Except for me. I was clapping, and so was the guy a few rows down from me.
On Earth? Oh!
I have no idea what that was, but what I can say is that it was very creative on the part of Lita, so I'll take us in away. More and more time wasting. What do you bet Trish Stratus is getting frustrated because we're almost 10 minutes into this 14-minute match and she hasn't even gotten tagged in once?
Tags on the other side.
Damn it, Bayley, you're supposed to be in position to get hit by Trish, and now it's awkward because Trish had to pause her momentum upon getting the long-awaited hot tag.
Double T by Stratus!
Wow, that was pretty cool. After all these years and 2 retirements, yeah, that sounds sad. Trish Stratus has still got it.
Off the ropes!
For the most part, this match was disappointing, but not this. At least it paid off with innovative and awesome moves from Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus.
Poetry in motion!
I really think Lita should leave the poetry and motion to the Hardy Boys going forward, wouldn't you agree? Hey Bayley, maybe the reason Damage Control keeps losing all the time is because of time-wasting moments like this when you're yelling at the fans, instead of actually trying to defeat your opponents and win matches.
Come on!
Becky Lynchamora. The referee just lets everyone be in the ring and starts counting the legal wrestlers for being down, when he should be trying to get the illegal competitors out of the ring first.
Be willing to bet our official has no idea.
Well, look who he is.
What's that supposed to mean, Michael?
Utilizing the 5-second count.
Utilizing the 5-second count in between tags, but then the 5-second count doesn't mean shit once everybody starts beating the shit out of each other. 3 minutes of watching the build-up to Bianca Belair versus Asuka, even though that match is not taking place until tomorrow night. The graphic at the top spells Dominic Mysterio's name correctly, but then you got the graphic below them spelling his name as Dominic with a C. That's gotta be embarrassing on the grandest stage of them all. But I gotta take off a few sins because this match, next to the main event, had one of the best storylines throughout the entire weekend. The build-up for Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio was outstanding and wild. Having Bad Bunny be a guest commentator for this upcoming match was cool. Just means he's more than likely going to be involved in Spanish table destruction. Wait a minute, the Spanish table can rebuild itself now?
Corey G.
Even just hearing a possible song title called Corey G, I already want to vomit and never listen to music again. Are we sure this is Dominic Mysterio making his entrance at WrestleMania? Judging by the barbed wire fence, it could possibly be Jon Moxley making his debut in WWE after Dean Ambrose vanished from existence. Not gonna lie, the cinematography and the ominous music playing when Dominic is released from jail and escorted to the ring was perfectly executed. You love to see it. I just can't get over how accurate Dominic looks like his father when he's wearing the signature Mysterio mask. Still a crazy mindfuck moment. The only thing that's sad about this is Dominic doesn't keep it on the entire match just to screw with his father.
Out here, make a false thing of it.
I fucking love the energy from Michael Cole and his hatred of Dominic Mysterio. That's the only negative thing about attending WrestleMania in person. You don't get to hear Michael's awesome reactions.
Viva la raza!
Man, I just got chills hearing Eddie Guerrero's theme when Rey Mysterio came riding in with Snoop Dogg on the lowrider. Both Mysterios killed it on the entrances. And now I'm crying. Here are 5 more sins removed. I need to compose myself for a second. Seriously? You had pyrotechnics set up all around but still resorted to Rey using non-pyro? That's just lazy. And what made things worse is now the non-pyro is off sync. So well done on that, crappy technicians. You know, if this match was simply sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that'd be enough. But a lot of the atmosphere in this match is taken away because the graphics are full of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and the mascot is at ringside as well. Now you're just making me crave Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Is it just me or did the lighting just get darker in the ring? Is the spotlights turned off or something? Or is Bray Wyatt controlling this from the shadows?
20 years since we've had a father-son matchup at WrestleMania.
But we're not going to mention it because it involves Vince McMahon, who absolutely hates being mentioned on commentary for reasons that are still unknown to this day. Honestly, smart move from Rey Mysterio. While he does get on the ropes to pose for the crowd, he doesn't once take his eyes off Dominic for fear that his son will attack him from behind. Don't often see that smart strategy played in matches anymore. Don't we have enough Cinnamon Toast Crunch advertisements surrounding the ring already? We don't need a CGI logo in the corner added in, you know.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Dominic Mysterio was spanked in the butt 5 times with Rey Mysterio's belt, and Michael Cole's energy added into the great moment. So let's remove a sin for each whip that connected. However, I gotta add in a sin because how the hell did Rey not get disqualified for the usage of a weapon during a singles match? It was in full view of the referee's eyes too. I know that Dominic deserved the spanking, but it's still a foreign object. Couldn't have done something to distract the referee first? Gotta admit that Dominic has balls to be splashing water in his sister's face. Over in AEW, Buddy Matthews just got pissed off while confused Malachi Black watches on.
Beat some respect into this kid.
Michael Cole should probably get better timing at what he's saying. Beat some respect into this kid, all while Dominic is the one doing the beatdown here.
And now having this fight in their backyard.
Surrounded by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Sorry, couldn't resist making the whole thing more awkward with the advertising.
Maybe in some bingo hall somewhere fighting.
And because Michael Cole made a reference to indie wrestling in the bingo halls, now the marks on Twitter are throwing endless fits. Again, much as Dominic Mysterio absolutely deserved to get spanked and later slapped, the referee continues to allow this. Should have added a no disqualification stipulation because of all the interference going on here. I love how Finn Balor is clearly in sight, yet neither commentator realizes it until Damian Priest is visible. Probably thought he was a random fan casually sneaking over the barricade.
You have no business being out here, Dominic.
What the fuck are you talking about, Michael? Dominic is literally an active participant in this match.
Rey Mysterio. Oh!
That was an amazing counter by Dominic. I actually felt that pain watching from the crowd. This is awesome. Finn Balor gets on the apron to distract the referee, who doesn't even think to eject him from ringside. The referees always eject other wrestlers from ringside, except when they conveniently don't.
6-1. Frogs, father, and Rey kicks out.
Man, do you feel that energy from the crowd when Rey kicks out at Dominic's version of the 619 and Frog Splash? I loved every second of it. Bad Bunny definitely has more than a simple hosting job on his mind when it comes to the upcoming Backlash pay-per-view, that's for sure.
Rey with a splash!
Haha, your voice cracked! Dominic Mysterio's "This Is Not Over Because Backlash Exists" face, and I still feel like the darkest chapter in this feud is yet to come. I'm on board for this.
WrestleMania Backlash.
WrestleMania Backlash. Already sounds like a dumber name than WrestleMania Backlash, so let's be thankful that the show is just called Backlash again. Let's just be thankful that the graphics below doesn't say SmackDown Women's Champion Chicks. Also, would you bet Rhea Ripley chose to face Charlotte Flair tonight because the WrestleMania number is an odd one. Based on Charlotte's track record, she has lost at every odd-numbered WrestleMania and won at every even-numbered WrestleMania. True story. Even if this is not going to last, it's about time that Rhea Ripley got her pyrotechnics back. They should bring it back on the full time, you know? Skip! This guy at ringside shining up his Divas Championship belt, and I'm already disgusted just by looking at it. Charlotte Flair's, "Aw crap, why didn't I take this WrestleMania off like I did at 37 to avoid another odd-numbered loss" face. Rhea Ripley pursuing the potential option of joining D-Generation X after she kicks Judgment Day to the curb.
That shows that the Queen can be beaten.
I mean, yeah, Charlotte has been beaten hundreds of times by this point. It's not exactly a kept secret that she can be defeated in matches.
This match, Corey, that happened.
Gotta take a sin off for that hilarious exchange. Rhea Ripley tells Jessica Carr to shut up, who basically responds with, "Bitch, I'm the referee, I can say whatever I want to you."
Housing at SoFi in Los Angeles.
Rhea Ripley was watching Charlotte Flair the entire time and could have easily countered the crossbody at any moment. She even moved as if she was getting frustrated with waiting. If I were Rhea Ripley, I wouldn't be posing up a storm to the audience knowing I've lost to Charlotte Flair literally every single time we ever faced off for a championship. View of SoFi Stadium during a match number 5,102,016.
How much does this championship mean to you?
I mean, she's won like 14 of them, so I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume they mean the world to Charlotte Flair. Also, my god, this crowd is absolutely dead for this SmackDown Women's Championship match. Matter of fact, this continues until the last 5 to 10 minutes of this 25-minute encounter.
The submission move that Charlotte has put away.
Maybe the reason this match goes on for 25 minutes is because both Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley take turns posing to the crowd in the middle of their offense. Charlotte's DDT counter from Rhea's Riptide was outstanding, and the way Rhea got dunked on her head was crazy. About time we're picking it up. Please don't pose after you did that, Charlotte.
Inside cradle.
Maybe the inside cradle wasn't enough to finish off Charlotte Flair because Rhea Ripley couldn't even lock it in properly.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, indeed. Not only an amazing German superplex, but Charlotte got entirely flipped onto her stomach on the way down. What a move there.
New champion! New champion!
Why would you say that, Corey? Just like Vic Joseph earlier this morning during NXT Stand and Deliver.
By Charlotte, now natural selection.
Perhaps the natural selection didn't help Charlotte Flair retain the SmackDown Women's Championship because Rhea Ripley was practically on the ground by the time Charlotte connected it. Thus, the effects were not the same. In case you didn't hear us constantly bringing up that this match is for the SmackDown Women's Championship, here's a giant CGI replica of the title to show you that we're serious. And it ain't even the first time they've shoved this in our face tonight either. So annoyed that I'm adding in 5 sins.
And now it's Ripley's turn. Oh my!
Yikes, just when you thought Rhea was just going to hit your average German suplex, she surprises us with one that almost made Charlotte land on her head.
From the top rope, moves!
This usually doesn't work, but tonight, it did work. I'll even remove 2 sins this time for Charlotte's perfectly executed moonsault on Rhea. Loving this match.
Riptide! Oh,
the sudden riptide, the reaction from the crowd when Charlotte kicked out, and the look of despair on Rhea's face tells the whole story. 20 minutes into this match, you'd expect it to be over. This is a false finish done correctly. Here's another 5 cents taken off. Keep it up.
the Queen! Now is
Charlotte Flair was clearly tapping out just from Rhea lifting her up. I only presume this match isn't over because the referee didn't see it based on where she's standing, but still, I saw you tap.
contact here! Rhea kicks again! You gotta be kidding me!
What a fucking match. Perhaps the best women's match in WrestleMania history. Gonna be tough to deny that. Rhea Ripley absolutely does not need the Judgment Day in her life anymore. She has taken on a path of her own, and this match proved it. First female to have won all the major singles titles from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and NXT UK. Grand Slam champion, and an epic match with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39. You couldn't ask for a better moment. Here's another 15 cents taken off since I already removed so many. Another 5 minutes dedicated to promos for matches taking place tomorrow night. Come on guys, we're all fired up from that SmackDown Women's title match. Let's jump to the main event while we're still on fire. Sure, Austin Theory beat John Cena earlier today, but that was earlier today, and this interview does nothing for what's about to take place tonight or even tomorrow night. Oh my fucking god. WWE just did this again. They placed the Mountain Dew on the announce table knowing full well the commentators are not going to drink it. I don't drink soda anymore, but fucking drink that shit! My vendetta against this whole thing is still alive and well all these years later.
Let's head up to our hosts of WrestleMania.
Our what? Oh, right, the hosts. I completely forgot all about The Miz and Snoop Dogg being the hosts since they didn't do anything for the last 3 hours, maybe except for Snoop. What are the odds that this is absolute bullshit like the rest of the attendance records WWE announces for their stadium events?
Numbers if you had a match tonight.
Sure, we're about to love who shows up for this moment, but Snoop Dogg is kind of being a dick here. The Miz didn't even do anything except announce the attendance for tonight, and then Snoop randomly said, "Hey, you should wrestle tonight." Did Snoop want to be the one who announced the attendance and got mad that Miz got there first?
I'm posted on TikTok, MySpace.
The moment Miz mentions posting on MySpace in 2023 is the moment you know he's bluffing about an open challenge. I figured someone was going to interrupt The Miz, but when Pat McAfee answered the call, the crowd and myself went nuts. You can see the video proof for yourself on this channel. What a moment indeed. I feel happy for Michael Cole now.
There's only 2 announcers undefeated at WrestleMania, me and Pat.
Trust me, I do not want to remember that awful match between Pat McAfee and Vince McMahon last year in Dallas either. However, you cannot pretend that it did not happen because the reality is it did happen. It was a sanctioned match and Pat lost. So no, Pat McAfee is no longer undefeated at WrestleMania, no matter how much we want to deny it. It's just a fact.
I challenged this idiot last year.
Bullshit.
I'm gonna sit here and drink Mountain Dew.
Now I know you're bullshitting with me. You're not even going to touch the Mountain Dew on the table because no fucking commentator does that. Well, maybe except for Jerry Lawler once or twice.
I want to see The Miz versus Pat.
Heel wrestler asks the crowd if they want to see a match involving them, only to decline it when the crowd gets hype cliche.
And I cannot make matches official.
Except you literally can. It's not like almost every single host of WrestleMania has made matches or added people to matches in the past. Why the fuck else are you the host for? Anyone find it a little awkward that someone as tall as Snoop Dogg has to resort to bending underneath the middle rope to get out of the ring?
I've worked like 90 hours this week.
I swear, if this vendetta Corey Graves has for Pat McAfee doesn't result in a match between these two, notably at WrestleMania 40, then it's a complete waste of time.
Big.
Right now, Michael Cole is watching Corey Graves having a creepy erection for The Miz and finally realizing how annoying that truly was. And now he more than likely regrets ever having one for Miz 13 years ago.
Kittle just took out.
I presume George Kittle was figuring out other career options in case the 49ers continue to fail to win the Super Bowl like they have for almost 30 years.
I am petitioning to have that match stricken from the ring.
Can Pat just go ahead and kick Corey's ass already? Why wait for an actual match between them? Just do it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on a second, Michael. The cameras are not on yet. We can only hear you. Damn it, technicians. Why are you messing up the feed all night long? This is WrestleMania. Seriously, who the hell is operating the graphics at the bottom here? It's saying this match is for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns is nowhere in sight. Did they mix things up and this match is actually supposed to be the main event of night 2? Plot twist. But also, I cannot deny, this has been the best storyline heading into WrestleMania and it absolutely deserved the main event spot more than anything else. Storyline matters first and always will. That's the reality of pro wrestling, and if you disagree, this is clearly not for you. I'm just saying. I'll be honest, I don't get this. Lil Uzi Vert is here to perform one of his songs and has no relations or references to either the Usos or Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Plus, none of his songs is even a theme for this event, so what is the point of this? Also, no offense, but pull your fucking pants up. Seriously, anybody who does this thinks they look cool, but you're not. You never were, and you never will be. Wear pants properly. We already showed you these CGI figures of the Usos inside the stadium. Now here's what they look like outside the stadium. Majestic, am I right? Nope. Even if that was supposed to be intentional, haha, Jey Uso dropped both his Raw and Smackdown Tag Team title belts.
KO Mania WrestleZania.
It's a catchy t-shirt design, but it doesn't feel the same when Michael Cole recites the names out loud.
You buy into it, TurboTax.
Shut the fuck up already! We already advertised TurboTax for the men's showcase match earlier tonight. Hey TurboTax, screw off. We already know that you're the sponsor for this match. We don't need to constantly see you for the second match tonight.
We've known main event, Jay. We've got to start calling Jimmy.
I mean, to be fair, Jey Uso was the one who actually got main event scenes for the Universal Championship, while Jimmy's first major main event is this one. Plus, Jey is higher up in the singles climb and in the emotion of the storytelling, so I wouldn't call him main event Jimmy Uso just yet.
And now Kevin Owens.
Honestly, why did Kevin Owens stop? Sure, the referee in the ring started yelling at Kevin to get back into his corner, but he stopped before that ever started. Plus, Jey Uso was right there in front of him.
As the illegal competitor, if he makes contact, it's going to force a disqualification.
Yeah, because that totally has happened in literally every single tag team match where an illegal competitor came into contact with a legal competitor. Every single time. Also, if that rule was the case, then how come there hasn't been a disqualification for literally every single tag team match where someone breaks up a pinfall? Sounds to me like Corey Graves is just making this shit up as he goes along.
Not a cheap shot.
Oh, I get it. It's a disqualification if the illegal wrestler gets involved, but A-okay if the legal wrestler hits the one on the apron. That is still confusing as fuck. Now you're just testing my patience. I might just have to throw in 20 cents just for the constant advertisements of TurboTax. Please don't tell me this continues into the second night. Everybody in the audience is amazed at Kevin Owens' performance so far, and then you got this guy most likely checking for nudes on Snapchat.
The top rope. Swan. Uso splash.
That was a great moment where Kevin Owens got a Swanton bomb countered and then suffered an Uso splash not even 3 seconds later. So far, this is a fun main event.
Disrespect. For all.
Usi right infringement. What an odd coincidence. It's always fun to hear the fans sing the Olay song, but here it's way off sync, thanks in part to the fact that there are tens of thousands of fans in attendance. When that's the case, nobody's ever in sync.
California, El Generico would be proud.
I don't think anybody else noticed this. Jey Uso conveniently is the one who rips off his Bloodline shirt before continuing to do damage to Sami Zayn, showing that this beatdown is personal to him and has nothing to do with the Bloodline itself. Or I'm just overthinking this like I usually do, but I'll take a sin off because it's a detail to me.
And again!
You gotta admit that Sami Zayn is digging deeper to be able to survive multiple double super kicks to the head, not willing to give up after all that he's been through in this epic storyline. Let's be honest, this moment would have been absolutely hilarious if the Spanish announce table got destroyed a second time in one night. That'd be a moment in WrestleMania history.
1D! Sami Zayn kicked out!
That fucking kick out from the one and done, something that has never happened before. Add that with the crowd reaction and Michael Cole going ballistic on commentary, and you got yourself a shocking moment at WrestleMania. Fight forever, guys. Fight forever. First an Usi right infringement, and now a Sami right infringement. That wasn't really Susi of Jey. Ugh, that was just stupid. Why don't I ever just shut the fuck up?
Stereo!
Could have been an epic double Uso splash, but unfortunately, Jey missed Kevin entirely, so it was just a single Uso splash from Jimmy that did not get them the win.
3! I'd be damned!
One haluva kick was absolutely going to be enough to defeat Jey Uso. 2 of them is when we reach overkill levels, but damn, 3 fucking haluva kicks! Sami Zayn, perfect facial expression and all, is ensuring that Jey Uso stays down and learns the hard way about his actions. I'm actually going to take off 50 sins for one of the best feel-good moments in any WrestleMania main event.